and welcome to Women Economic Forum 2016. Our next session regarding the power of women to pitch in front of investors. There are two delegates with us. One is lead speaker Marina Naomi. She is founder and CEO of Your Stage Public Speaking, and our speaker is Parul Mahajan. She is co-founder of House of Design from Delhi. Welcome to ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the presentation. Hello, namaste. Shalom. Do you know what shalom?
Yes.
Shalom, salam. I actually just learned today a beautiful thing about namaste, that it's not just a greeting for hello, but it means I bow to the divine in you, which I think it's beautiful. It's much deeper level. So welcome. My name is Marina Naomi Smolianov. I'm an Israeli. I'm originally born in Ukraine, in Kharkov. I immigrated to Israel when I was 7 years old, and I met many inspiring women at the conference, and I noticed that each one have this background. They're living in India, but originally from Poland, or the opposite, or living in Australia, but originally from the States. So I think the multicultural environment is something that unites us. We're going to have an interesting session to understand our superpowers that we have in order to master it, to impress investors, and how to make our business flourish in understanding our values and transform it to businessmen, to try to overcome the gender gaps. And it's all you're gonna change through awareness. This is the transformation that I hope to take you with me. I'll explain you more about my work, about my startup, my company, the way I went my journey. But before, I want to give you the practical tools. I want to give you some information, something that I hope will be useful for life for you. But before we start, I have a question for you. When you just saw me when I entered the room, how many minutes or seconds it took you to create first impression?
5.
Seconds or minutes?
5 seconds.
What's your name?
Jacqueline.
Jacqueline from?
I'm from the UK.
Jacqueline from the UK thinks 5 seconds. Okay, one guess. We have another guess?
Similar.
5 seconds. Okay, somebody else?
3.
2 seconds. Okay, you have very sharp intuition. Okay, another guess?
3.
Instant. Wow, this is very impressive because most of the time I'm giving many lectures to governmental employees in different government ministries in Israel. And I have a group of 40, 50 people, mixed group of men and women. And men always say it takes them 1 minute, 50 seconds, 30 seconds. And women say 5 seconds, 2 seconds. It just shows that what we're going to talk more about, the sharp intuition we have, something that we take for granted. But there's a precise answer about it. It takes exactly 4 seconds to create first impression. It means the first 2 seconds is see, and the second 2 seconds, feel. So this is the first impression. What about creating long-lasting impression? Something that will touch your heart. How long it takes you to create a meaningful impression? Like minimum time, how long it takes you to create an opinion, but something more deep about a person? In minutes, in seconds? How many you think?
5 minutes.
5 minutes. Okay. Who else?
I think the same. 5 seconds. Depends
5 seconds.
Depends on what you're saying.
Okay, but for example, 5 seconds, you don't actually give an opportunity to talk. You just visual impression?
I think for me, 10 minutes.
10 minutes, okay.
10 minutes to introduce,
Uh-huh.
capture their attention.
Shipa, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I remember.
Thank you. 10 minutes I managed to capture their attention,
Uh-huh.
and then I can hold them as long as I want.
Okay. Okay, wow. We have a very confident woman in our crowd. Thank you. Okay, so I think you're very sharp with your intuition. So at the beginning you said 5 seconds and then you said 5 minutes. You're very close. So it takes
Instant, it's all about the vibes we get.
the vibes, the energy,
Because
right?
energy cannot lie. The person can lie, but energy cannot lie.
Okay.
The vibe and the energy which I get from the person,
Uh-huh.
that is the instrumental factor in me.
Okay. So,
Can I just
Yeah.
add to that?
uh-huh. Thank you.
I have a tool that's called Smile, and
Uh-huh.
nobody knows how to handle that.
Smile. It is a very powerful tool. We said energies and smile. Smile, in fact, release endorphins. When you see person smiling to you, it releases endorphins. You feel the endorphins in the other person. What else release endorphins that we do or we eat? What else? Eye contact. What creates endorphins? Something that we do which makes us feel good. What else? Exercise. What else? Chocolate. It's a good answer. What else? Women dare to say hugs. What? Sex. Very good. You're getting there. So again, when I ask this question in mixed group, the women always say chocolate and men always say sex. Creates endorphins. So it can be a social study about it, but it's always the same answer they get. So endorphins really play a meaningful role. So once you smile, it's already 38% you impact the first impression, and it's a lot. Then you have eye contact, 68% eye contact. And the meaningful impression you create, it takes you exactly 4 minutes. It's enough for the first 4 minutes to create meaningful impression. That's why when pitching to investors, they give you 5 minutes. You need to give your vision, your business plan, your model, all the homework you prepared. You have 5 minutes to impress them and to be contagious with your passion. So first he creates first impression, and then you are building the trust. You try to transform your vision, what you believe in, and we're going to talk more about it. So something else that's meaningful to mention, how many percent you think is non-verbal communication? How many percent is non-verbal communication? 80% non-verbal. Who else thinks? 50-50. Okay.
It's 80%.
80% also think.
Body language.
Body language, 80%. So most of you think it's 80%. So for example, if I enter the room and I say, wow, I'm very excited to meet you all. You look really gorgeous or something. So do you believe what I say?
No.
Or my body language talks louder, right? So it's even more than 80%. Social studies showed that 93% is nonverbal communication.
Wow.
We always forget it. We take it for granted. We don't have awareness to the nonverbal. And only 7% is the verbal. Verbal communication, what we say, the message. What we say is 7%. How we say it, the nonverbal, 93%. So we need to raise awareness to our subconscious, because when subconscious conflicts with conscious, non-verbal conflicts with verbal, we now know that non-verbal always wins. So we need to be conscious to our subconscious. This is one of the basic tools that we take so much for granted. We never use it. And now I want to tell you that the main problem in our world that we have a false narrative that we hear all the time from the media, from men, from different researchers, from the society about the gender gap that we have in entrepreneurship, the gender gap we have between women and men in business. So, for example, when I read the article, a very respectful article and research that's been done by Harvard, Wharton, MIT, all the big names, it creates a lot of credibility. So the research in 2013, they tried to understand if there is a gender gap in entrepreneurship between men and women. So what they did, they tried to investigate over the course of 3 years different pitching competition in United States. 3 years they observed pitching competitions. And what they saw, that even if the presentation was the same, even if the product was the same, 60% of investors would prefer to invest in men, always. And the second step of the research, they tried to isolate the gender effect. And what they did, they just show investors presentations with the voice of a male or voice of a female. They didn't see the person, that it was identical presentation, one voiced by man, one voiced by female. And the same presentation, 70% of them prefer men. This is research by Harvard. And what about attractiveness? If a man is actually attractive and he comes to investor, he would have more chances or less chances to get more chances by this research. And if a woman attractive, she will get more chances or less chances? She will get less chances if a woman attractive and she is well dressed and she's coming with a suit, because we always think that we need to look professional, that we need to seem powerful and not just sex objects. So we dress for success and professional, but eventually, if you are attractive, it works against you. You see? And this is a research that was published 2013. This is the first one you find on Google. So this is stereotypes that they are put in our head. We think, okay, if that was a research, this is the reality. This is what we need to handle. So can we do something about it? Can we change it? And I saw something interesting, because I'll tell you more about what I do, but one of the things I was doing, I'm training